As soon as the man was buried by the lake, the woman took the family's last half bag of bone seeds and dumped them into the old well at the entrance of the village. The villagers all called her crazy. They said she was trying to starve herself and her 4-year-old son, Guoguo, to death. But the woman said nothing. She simply stayed by the well day and night. Anyone who came near, she would chase away with a hoe in her hands. Her son cried from hunger, his little stomach empty and aching. Still, she clenched her teeth and told him that his father was protecting the two of them. The very next day, a sudden storm hit the village. A mountain flood washed out the only road leading in and out. The local authorities sealed off the village and forbade anyone from leaving. Food prices soared by the day until even silver could no longer buy a single grain of rice. Every household turned upside down searching for anything edible. But in the woman's house, not a single grain of food remained. Little Guoguo was so hungry he could only whimper weakly in the corner of the heated brick bed. The woman held him in her arms and cried silently. Even then, she refused to go down into the well and retrieve the bone seeds. Soon, the village bully, Zhang Da, came to her door. With one kick, he slammed the doorframe open and roared that she had thrown the seeds into the well just to act proud. He told her to fish them out and give him most of them, and in return he would spare her and her son. But the woman stood firmly in front of the well, saying nothing. Zhang Da left with a cruel warning. He said that within 3 days, he would make sure the two of them died right there beside the well. That night, the woman leaned over the well and cried. Then suddenly, a faint, bitter medicinal fragrance drifted up from the darkness below. She looked down and saw something impossible. A green vine was pushing its way up from the bottom of the well. It climbed along the stone wall with astonishing speed. By morning, it had wrapped itself around the entire well. Bright red flowers bloomed across the vine. Then came clusters of round, ruby-red fruits. Their sweet fragrance drifted through the entire alleyway. May anyone fortunate enough to see this spirit fruit be blessed with smooth roads, good fortune, and overflowing wealth. Guoguo picked one fruit and took a bite. It was sweet, filling, and strangely powerful. Just one fruit was enough to keep him full for most of the day. Once word spread, Zhang Da immediately returned with a group of men to steal the fruit. He reached out to grab one. The moment his fingers touched it, he let out a scream. His hand instantly turned red and swollen, as if it had been burned by fire. Some of the villagers, driven by greed, tried sneaking over to pick the fruit for themselves. Every single one of them was scalded by a wave of heat. After that, no one dared go near the vine again. That night, the woman had a dream. In it, she saw an old herbalist dressed in a gray cotton shirt bowing respectfully to her. He told her he had come to repay a debt. The woman stared at him in shock. The old man sighed and said that 5 years earlier, during a terrible snowstorm, her husband had saved his life in the mountains. Not only had he rescued him, but he had also given him all of his dry rations and even his cotton coat. Then he had personally escorted him out of the mountains. The old herbalist said he had sworn back then that he would repay that kindness one day. Then he told her the truth. Her husband had not died from an accidental fall. Zhang Da had pushed him off the cliff in order to steal a rare 100-year medicinal herb he had found. The old man said that after his death, his spirit had appeared in her dream and guided her to pour the bone seeds into the well. It was the only way to awaken the heart-guarding fruit. That fruit only protected people with kindness in their hearts, and it was meant to keep her and her son safe. The woman trembled from head to toe. Only then did she realize just how unjustly her husband had died. Before leaving, the old herbalist gave her one final instruction. At first light, she was to take the fruit into the city and sell it only to Dr. Liu at Deshang Hall. No one else was allowed to touch it. The next morning, the woman carried the fruit into town and found Dr. Liu at Deshang Hall. The moment he saw it, his face changed in shock. He said it was the legendary heart-guarding fruit, a treasure capable of curing countless poisons and even rare chronic illnesses. It was worth more than gold. Without hesitation, he paid her 80 taels of silver for it and urged her to leave the county town immediately. But as soon as she stepped out of the medicine shop, she was stopped by Master Zhao, wealthiest man from a nearby village. His daughter had been poisoned by a mysterious illness and had fallen into a deep coma. He tried to seize the fruit by force. In the struggle, several fruits rolled onto the ground. Master Zhou bent down to pick one up. The instant he touched it, his hand became red and swollen, as though branded by a hot iron. At that moment, an elderly servant nearby suddenly dropped to his knees and burst into tears. He confessed that the young lady had not fallen ill naturally. The second wife, desperate to seize the family inheritance, had been secretly poisoning her for years. The old servant said he had kept silent for 5 years out of fear. Then he pointed to the fruit and said it only recognized people with good hearts. He told Master Zhou that his heart had grown too cruel, and that was why he could not even touch it. Master Zhou stood there as if struck by lightning. He was overwhelmed with regret and shame. The woman took the chance to gather the fruit and leave. A few days later, Zhang Da went hunting in the mountains at night. He slipped, fell, and plunged off the very same cliff where the woman's husband had died. He died in exactly the same way. Master Zhao later uncovered the full truth and punished his second wife. But his daughter had been poisoned for far too long, and because she herself had committed too many cruel deeds in life, she could not be saved in the end. Little by little, the Zhou family fortune began to crumble. As for the woman, she moved to the county town with her son. Using the 80 taels of silver, she opened a small fabric shop and finally began living a peaceful, steady life. When Guoguo grew older, he returned to the mountains every year to visit his father's grave. He always brought a bowl of hot rice and an old piece of clothing, because some kindnesses, even between the living and the dead, should never be forgotten. In this life, when you reach out and help someone, heaven will one day reach back and help you too.